Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. I am Steve Howlett, Assistant Public Works Director. And this item is a public hearing for the formation of the City of Oxnard's Community Facilities District Number 9, also known as the North Shore at Mandalay Bay, and approval of funding and acquisition agreement. The recommendation is that the City Council conduct a public hearing on the formation, the formation of the Community Facilities District 9, B, levy of special taxes, and C, issuance of special tax bonds secured by the special taxes. 2, approve resolution determining the validity of prior proceedings establishing the Community Facilities District 9 and approving a funding and acquisition agreement. 3, adopt a resolution determining the necessity to incur bonded indebtedness within Community Facilities District 9 and calling for a special election. 4, holding the election. 5, adopt a resolution canvassing the results of the election held for the Community Facilities District Number 9. And finally, 6, introduce an ordinance that conducts the first reading of the ordinance authorizing the levy of a special tax within the Community Facilities District Number 9. Background: Community Facilities Districts, or CFDs. They are established pursuant to California state law and commonly known as Mello-Roos. Money raised through special taxes that must be approved by a 2/3 majority of voters within the CFD. The City Council acts as the legislative body of any CFD and city forms. The CFD can be formed to finance a wide list of improvements, which include roads, water facilities, sewers, and schools. They're also used to finance ongoing maintenance services in perpetuity of the facilities and services, such as landscaping, street maintenance, lighting, drainage facilities. The taxes are secured by continual liens that are levied against the properties within the CFD on an annual basis. The North Shore CFD was established in 2006 as the 2006 CFD for an earlier proposed development located on the northeastern corner of 5th Street and Harbor Boulevard. There were 2 special tax components of this CFD, A and B. However, we will not go into much detail on this since the city never levied special tax A or special tax B. There is currently a balance of just over $500,000 of collected taxes. The owner and developer, MLP Properties, has a current development plan for 292 single-family residences within the 90-acre development, and is either requesting a replacement or modification of CFD 2006. Staff recommends the formation of a new CFD rather than trying to amend the 2006 CFD. This allows the city to prioritize the facilities and fees to be financed while also making sure the effective tax rate for residents remains under 2%. The new CFD will have a not to exceed bond authorization of $22,500,000. Once the new CFD number 9 is formed, the 2006 CFD will be dissolved. On September 7th, 2021, the city adopted the following 3 resolutions. These are steps 1 through 3 of a 6-step process, which we will go into detail further on in this presentation. So first, a resolution adopting a deposit and reimbursement agreement and special tax disbursement agreement relating to the proposed City of Oxnard Community Facilities District Number 9. The adoption of a resolution of intent to establish the City of Oxnard Community Facilities District Number 9. And third, a resolution of intention to incur bonded indebtedness in the amount not to exceed $22,500,000 for the CFD number 9. Purpose. The purpose of CFD number 9 is to establish funding for the following: One, public infrastructure facilities and other governmental facilities, including the fees related to these facilities, and with an estimated useful life of over 5 years, including but not limited to all or a portion of the sanitary sewer, water, streets, storm drains, park facilities, public art, or other real and tangible property, and the related costs included in the design, inspection, professional fees, and acquisition of costs associated through the levy of special taxes. The proposed funding also would service in perpetuity the following, but not limited to: landscaping services, street lighting, maintenance of the sewer and water systems, irrigation systems, parks, the Edison Canal and Channel Islands harbor maintenance, and weed abatement. Again, this is done through the annual levy of special tax. And finally, remediation of any hazardous substances released or threatened to be released into the environment on the property or any associated operation, maintenance and monitoring activities as more particularly described in the attached response plan approved by the Department of Toxic Substance Control, and the operations and maintenance plan also approved by the DTSC on March 7th, 2019. This is done through the levy of special taxes on an annual basis and will continue in perpetuity unless it is determined to be no longer necessary by the DTSC. So again, here is the 6-step process. We have already covered steps 1 through 3, so in the interest of time, I won't repeat these. But tonight we will be working on steps 4 through 6, and these are the recommendations of the City Council. So step 4 was to hold the public hearing. Step 5, a waiver regarding the election of time limits received by the landowner. So a special election can be called, and the levy of the special taxes, and with the issuance of tax bonds not to exceed $22 million. The City Council acting as $22,500,000, I'm sorry. The City Council acting as the legislative body of the CFD conducts the special mailed ballot election. Should the proposition pass by a 2/3 vote from the qualified voters, which in this case is just the landowner, the City Council may conduct the first reading of the ordinance by levying the special tax. And then step 6 is the City Council acting as legislative body can adopt the ordinance along with the resolution of transferring the assets of the 2006 CFD to CFD number 9, thereby dissolving the 2006 CFD. Once the CFD is formed, the election has conducted. It is the intent of the CFD to issue one or more series of bonds. The proposed maximum bond authorization is again $22,500,000. This is a not to exceed amount for the CFD on the basis of facilities, costs, and available special tax facilities. Currently, it is not expected that the bonds will be authorized for issuance or sale until the development is well underway and the facilities are at or near completion, at which time the documents related to the issuance and sales of the bonds will be brought to the City Council for its approval. The CFD will determine the timing and the amount of bonds to be sold. On behalf of the city, our consultant, NBS Government Finance Group, as a special tax consultant, has prepared a CFD report describing the proposed CFD number 9. Although the city of Oxnard forms the CFD, the debt issuances are not obligations of the city, but rather obligations of CFD number 9. Therefore, the formation of this CFD does not obligate the city to make any expenditure or proceed with the project or obligate the city or the CFD to issue any bonds. Finally, the finances and bonds of the CFD are unrelated to, do not rely upon, and do not impact the credit rating of the city. Financial impact. There is no financial impact at this time with this proposal. is conducted, staff will return to City Council for the approval of the proposed formation and bond financing. This is a map of all the special districts within the city. Over on the left-hand side, on the top in purple, there is number 6. That is the 2006 CFD, which is now being proposed for CFD 9 North Shore at Mandalay Bay. Here is a close-up of the property in question. So this is the proposed boundaries of CFD number 9, showing the 292 lots for development. The boundaries of the property, you'll see that 5th Street is on the bottom or south of the property. Harbor Boulevard is on the left, west side of the property. And then the Edison Canal is the border on the east side of the property. So that concludes this presentation. We have representatives from the developer as well as the city's consultants, and city staff are available for any questions. Thank you.